OwanaPaedia, again, thank you for staying with us as we go back to 1989, a mere 34 years ago, to see when the president hosted the Uganda Cranes, to salute them on their victory when they took the Eastern Central African Challenge Cup trophy. After many years of trophy starvation, they finally did it.
Tony Owana really loves our history. He has a passion for doing research, and he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
Banange, have you subscribed to OwanaPaedia? I don't know what you are waiting for.
And he shares all this history with you so that you can make informed choices.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the team for winning the Cup of Eastern and Central Africa. I do not pay close attention these days to sports, but I used to be a sportsman myself. In fact, I used to be a footballer. Sports is good because, first of all, it provides entertainment for the population. And more particularly, mass sports, sports in which the bulk of the population participates, is good for the development of healthy bodies. This is because I think maybe man originally was created to work. Now, when the society is slightly affluent and they don't have to work all the time to do manual work, then a sort of disequilibrium develops. That's why you find people with big stomachs. That's not a healthy thing. Even myself, I'm not as healthy as I should be. I can say a member of the sports council is also having Of course, peasants don't have stomachs, as you notice. The people in the rural areas, many of them don't have stomachs. Stomachs are here in the town. Even these bad manners of squandering hours in the bars, find people in the bar just drinking. This is because they are not engaged in sports. Because if somebody went for football after work, I'm sure by the time he comes back, he will be tired. You'll have no time to go and sit in the bar to engage in self-poisoning.
Now, when the president began to speak, which is a mere 34 years ago, he made a comment on people who have protruding bellies. And even pointed at some of them at that time. In those days, Your Excellency, you still had a very flat belly. And I think it is humorous now to note that 34 years down the road, if someone were to make a speech, Your Excellency, you would say, look at yours. But that is on the lighter side. The more serious issues were with when the president confessed actually that he had not been closely following the events themselves, but that he had a monitoring unit. See, my son is the one who tells me what you are doing. He was talking about today's General Kainerugaba Muhoozi, who was a young man at the time, but was keeping tabs on sports for his father. That's part of Museveni's humorous speech, and at his side was his best half, Janet Museveni. And in the pictures, I also see Brigadier Ruchamuzi, then a young captain, and so many other people, many of who have sadly passed on. This work was captured for posterity by Andrew Patrick Luandaga, and now we go back to Nile Hotel to see the rest of the event. Herbert Semiano greets you from behind the camera, where he's permanently stationed, courtesy of OwanaPaedia.
Your Excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissioners, ladies, gentlemen, and above all, members of the team, the Uganda Cranes. It is now my honor and pleasure to invite His Excellency to say a few remarks to the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, First of all, I would like to congratulate the team for winning the Cup of Eastern and Central Africa. I do not pay close attention these days to sports. I don't have the time even to go and attend the games. But I used to be a sportsman myself. In fact, I used to be a footballer. Sports is good because, first of all, it provides entertainment for the population. And more particularly, mass sports, sports in which the bulk of the population participates, is good for the development of healthy bodies. Because a healthy human being is a man who has got a healthy body and he has got a healthy mind in the healthy body. And there's no way you can be healthy without doing sports and exercises. This is because I think maybe man originally was created to work. So I think originally, before, when people were still poor, they survived on work. The metabolism of the body was based on work. Now, when the society is slightly affluent and they don't have to work all the time to do manual work, then a sort of disequilibrium develops. That's why you find people with big stomachs. That's not a healthy thing. We should have, even myself, I'm not as healthy as I should be. Because a healthy human being is not supposed to have a stomach. A stomach is just, is really a lack of exercises. Of course, peasants don't have stomachs, as you notice. The people in the rural areas, many of them don't have stomachs. Stomachs are here in the town. Stomachs in the sense of bellies. Because if you are working, you burn off the calories. You burn off all the fat. So where will the fat come from? In Europe these days, it is shameful to have a big stomach. In Europe. The other time I was in Washington, you see everybody running in the streets. Because to say somebody is fat in Europe now, it's an insult. If you tell somebody in Europe that you fat man, he will be insulted, because I can say a member of the sports council is also having So really the sports for the masses, for the population, not only for entertainment, but to develop the tradition of sports in order to keep ourselves fit. Things like gymnastics, these are good for training the young people to be fearless, even for war in the future if there is a war. To be fearless and build stamina of the body as well as of the mind, to be able to persist. Like in this marathon you have been you are engaged in the other time recently. This is good, because to be able to persevere up to the end of the race. Sometimes you feel you are so tired, you say, why don't I sit down? But then some other mind tells you that no, you must go on. It is shameful for you to sit down. So that is training. You are training both the body as well as the spirit of perseverance, to be able to persevere. So sports is therefore very, very important, not only for amusement and entertainment, but actually for building a population. Even these bad manners of squandering hours in the bars, find people in the bar just drinking. This is because they are not engaged in sports. Because if somebody went for football after work, I'm sure by the time he comes back, he will be tired. You'll have no time to go and sit in the bar to engage in self-poisoning. So it is also it's a good gap filler for the I actually try to do sports in the place where I live, but I don't have time. But I do exercises, and I try to if I can. Therefore, sports in general is very good. Now, coming to this particular role, being able to win in East Africa, East and Central Africa, after so many years of losing or not participating, this is also important because it means I think it must be some sort of it must be because of the atmosphere which is prevailing in the country now, atmosphere of peace, of relaxation, of confidence, of hope. I think, I imagine, and of peace. Otherwise, if they were worried, and I don't think they would be able to perform so well. We on the government side, the movement side, we are determined to ensure that this peace continues. And I've been telling you time and again that our job on the political side is to develop a capacity to ensure that peace in Uganda will prevail forever, for a very, very long time. Uganda lagged behind other countries of East Africa, not because we lack resources, because we have got a lot of resources, not because but because we lacked organization. This is what was lacking. We were not well organized, so any little thing could disturb us, could disturb the peace, could disturb the development. So much so that even things like sport get disrupted. You hear that people are talking of problems of contributions to sports bodies. This is because of the disruption of the economy. If the economy was not disrupted, it would not be a problem to contribute to sports bodies. It would be automatic. But because the economy was disrupted, you find such problems. We cannot contribute in time to sports bodies. We cannot contribute in time to other international organizations like the Desert Locust Control, like all these bodies which we are supposed to contribute to. This was because of the disorganization, of the disruption which arose out of the disorganization. Now, what the NRM government will do, and I'm sure we'll do it, and we have done it to some extent, is to ensure that we organize society in such a manner, the various facets of the society, that our society is immunized against disorganization and disruption, so that we are on a steady course of development, and the people relax and they develop. We have got capacity to do that. There's no, I don't think anybody should worry about that side. Coming to raising funds for the sports, I think we should have to think. Maybe we could launch a fund. We should have to discuss the details. We could launch a presidential fund, and we'll try to raise money for sports. But we can discuss the details. We can discuss the details of how this could be done. I have got a small fund which the government gives the president. I could be contributing a small sum every year on the sports fund. We shall discuss and see how much we can contribute to that fund. In this particular case, I'd like to thank especially the goalkeeper. I hear the goalkeeper was very good. He was able to save 2 penalties at least, from what I hear, which was good. Then there was also another good performer called Museveni. I don't know who this one is. That one there. They say he was the highest scorer in the whole tournament. He was the best scorer in the whole group. We should clap for him. Then the whole team, I think they were the best scorers in the whole. They had the biggest number of goals scored in the. I was also following their performance in the Middle East, Kuwait. Well, I was not following. My son was following, and he was informing me. He was following, and I think somehow sports is also good in another way, because it builds some pride of some sort. I don't know why. You find people they are very, very proud of. I don't know whether it is subjective or objective. I don't know. Therefore, all in all, I would like to say I'm very pleased. I don't normally go for these sports myself, but I thought I should come and tell you how pleased I am about your performance. Okay, thank you very much.
I would like to ask the minister, please, to present a cup donated by Spear Motors, started in 1986 when Uganda beat Kenya. There was no competition in 1987. In 1988, the cup is here. This is the Independence Cup.
This is a token, a representative. That was too big, Your Excellency.
Oh, it was too big.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
The next one is a boxing cup. Started as Millington Drake Trophy, mainly between Uganda and Kenya. The Urafiki Brunas Trophy, and now we call Fekaba. This was one in the Seychelles, Your Excellency. Eastern Central Africa Cup. This was also one last year. The next one is an achievement by ladies. It's a netball cup. One in 1988 in Zimbabwe by Ugandan ladies.
Oh.
I think that lady is the captain. Again,
what's your name? Nakato. And you? Thank you.
Again, Your Excellency, the ladies of Uganda excelled in all types of games, but this one is called darts. I'm sure Your Excellency is familiar with darts. But considering that Your Excellency...
There are many in bars, yeah, I know.
The ladies won in 1987, 1988, and 1989 in Zambia.
Yes. Christine, so you're the one who won, or you had a team?
We had a team.
She is the captain.
She was the captain of the ladies.
So,
thank you very much.
Miss Keddy is the captain.
Zambia.
Thank you very much. Huh?
The next one, Your Excellency, is table tennis. Started in 1984, then Uganda won it, and this present cup they are presenting is 1987 to 1989, table tennis.
Table tennis.
The next cup, which is the last one, Your Excellency, is an intellectual game. This cup is won in chess. It was won in Cairo, Egypt, this year.
Who is the chess player?
This is Secretary General.
Your Excellency, that is the compliment of the achievements of the sporting community of Uganda. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you very much.
And finally, the Cranes presidential reception held on December 22nd, 1989 ended warmly on a toast for continued good health and sports victories.
What more can I add? You've been invited to a toast by the president and the sports fraternity. That's what OwanaPaedia is best at. This is 34 years ago only. And in one of our recipes which Herbert Semiano is preparing, those who say the president doesn't like sports will see him when he was playing football. It was Uganda cabinet versus FUFA. Very, very interesting, and it will only be on OwanaPaedia. Once again, please subscribe to this channel because that's where the information is. Thank you very much.
Catherine Bond from the BBC. Mr. Chairman, it's some time since you've been to Uganda. Is there anything that you've seen or heard that surprised you? And two, do you have any regrets with hindsight about backing Milton Obote in 1980?
No, I have no regret at all. Why should I have any regret? I didn't back Obote in the sense that I made him president. I didn't. Our troops helped Uganda to get rid of Amin, and after that, the Ugandans on their own had a succession of administrations. They started with Lule. Actually, it's even possible I had more to do with Lule than I had to do with Obote.
Banange, have you subscribed to OwanaPaedia? I don't know what you are waiting for.
OwanaPaedia, Owana for history.